Csilla, located in the unknown regions, is the frozen homeworld of the Chiss. The Chiss were a near-human species distinguished by their blue skin and red eyes, a characteristic partly attributed to the mineral content in Csill's hydrosphere. The planet is almost entirely covered in ice, with its cities and infrastructure built deep underground to shield the population from the planet's harsh, frigid surface. Despite its remote location and extreme environment, Csilla is the capital of the Chiss Ascendancy, a powerful and highly advanced society that maintains a strict policy of isolation from the rest of the galaxy. Historically, in 27,500 BBY and 27,000 BBY, humans arrived on Csilla via sleeper ships, eventually evolving into the Chiss, who established a global government. Motivated by the need to sustain resources without harming Casilla's ecosystem, the Chiss developed a space program partly inspired by memories of their colonization origins. During the Great Galactic War, the Chiss Ascendancy allied with the Sith Empire, offering resources and military support in exchange for sovereignty. The planet is also known for its expeditionary library and as the birthplace of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Casilla's isolation in the unknown regions has allowed the Chiss to remain relatively free from galactic politics, though they have occasionally aligned themselves with other powers, such as the Empire, when it suited their interests. Taris was once a sprawling ecumenopolis in the Outer Rim, renowned for its towering skyscrapers, bustling trade, and advanced technology, almost rivaling Coruscant in its prime. Divided into distinct layers, from the affluent upper city to the crime-ridden lower city, the planet was a symbol of both prosperity and deep social inequality. The lowest levels of Taris were overrun with outlaws, mutated rat ghouls, and decaying infrastructure, creating a stark contrast to the high society above. Taris' fate changed drastically during the Jedi Civil War, when Darth Malak, in a brutal show of force, launched a devastating orbital bombardment, leveling the cityscape. The destruction left Taris in ruins, and attempts at reconstruction faltered due to its precarious ecosystem and the lingering threat of rat ghouls. Taris never fully faded from galactic memory. The Republic launched ambitious restoration projects, reclaiming Taris as a symbol of resilience and strength once again. Koboh, a rugged planet in the Outer Rim, is defined by its harsh terrain of towering mesas, jagged cliffs, and sprawling desert plains. Rich in priorite, a valuable metal, Koboh has drawn prospectors and settlers eager to carve out a living amid its treacherous landscape. Historically, Koboh held strategic significance during the High Republic era, when Jedi and Republic scientists built facilities like the Forest Array and several Jedi chambers. It was also the launching point for Jedi Knight Zygerria's discovery of Tanalorr. In Jedi Survivor, Cal Kestis crash lands on Koboh while on the run from the Empire. Amid its untamed wilderness, Cal navigates perilous encounters with wildlife, such as the massive Piasa and aggressive Billimaz, as well as hostile factions like the Bedlam Raiders. His journey on Koboh reveals ancient Jedi ruins, including a High Republic temple filled with complex trials, and lost technology like the Abyss Compass, an essential device for navigating the route to Tanalorr. Tanalorr is a secretive and ancient world shrouded in mystery, concealed within the Koboh Abyss, a deadly nebula that conceals pathways to the hidden world. With dense forest, misty wetlands, and vast plains, its landscapes hold an almost sacred tranquility, making it a perfect sanctuary far from the reach of the wider galaxy. During the High Republic era, Tanalorr's existence became known to the Jedi Order, who viewed it as a potential site for a remote temple due to its strong connection to the Force. Jedi Masters Zygerria led the effort to access the planet, hoping to unlock its mysteries and establish a haven of peace and light. However, after an encounter with a pirate force named the Nile and the unpredictability of the Koboh Abyss led to the project's abandonment, with Tanalorr vanishing from the galactic consciousness once more. Millennia later, the Jedi Cal Kestis rediscovers Tanalorr, recognizing its potential as a hidden refuge in the Dark Times, a place where the remnants of the light can remain protected from the Empire's shadow. Nevarro is a rugged, lava-strewn planet situated on the edge of known space, where molten rivers snake across a harsh landscape surrounded by arid plains and rugged canyons. While its fiery surface is inhospitable, Nevarro has become a haven for bounty hunters, mercenaries, and survivalists drawn to its challenging environment and isolation from the core systems. Beneath its volatile surface lies a vast network of hidden tunnels and caves. Nevarro became an important location during the rise of the New Republic due to its thriving trade and bounty hunting contracts. The Bounty Hunters Guild, under Greef Karga's leadership, operated out of a central fortress, making it a bustling hub for those on both sides of the law. The planet's significance further rose when the Mandalorian Din Djarin sought refuge there with Grogu, sparking a confrontation with Imperial remnants led by Moff Gideon. The clash altered the fate of Nevarro, and the planet, once a remote outpost, emerged as a symbol of resilience, thriving under a new order led by Karga in the aftermath of the Empire's defeat. Corvus, located in the Outer Rim, is a mist-shrouded forested world, filled with dense woodlands and towering ancient trees. However, its once pristine beauty has been marred by industrial pollution and Imperial occupation. Imagine San Francisco enveloped in pollution. That's how thick and hazy the atmosphere of Coruscant can get on the lower levels, like the smog-filled skyline of Beijing or the dense haze of New Delhi on its worst days, making Corvus a dark and somber place as the sun could barely break through the smoggy air. Beneath its canopy, scattered villages and small settlements are cloaked in shadows due to that. During the reign of the Empire, Corvus was subjugated under oppressive rule. Its forests were exploited for resources, leaving parts of the land scarred and desolate. The people were abused into labor service and were treated poorly. Corvus gained wider attention when Ahsoka Tano, the former Jedi, arrived seeking information on the whereabouts of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Ahsoka liberated the town of Caladan from the cruel rule of Magistrate Morgan Elspeth, restoring a sense of hope to the people of Corvus. It became a site of resistance as the oppressed populace began to rise against their occupiers. Before moving on, please leave a like on this video. It's greatly appreciated and would help the algorithm notice my videos more. Thanks a lot. Scipio, a frigid mountainous planet located in the Outer Rim territories, is renowned as the headquarters of the intergalactic banking clan and homeworld to the moons. Covered in towering icy peaks and ancient stone structures, Scipio's surface is cold and unyielding, mirroring the calculating nature of its corporate masters. The bank's fortified vaults and towering citadel stand imposingly across the landscape as symbols of wealth and power. During the Clone Wars, Scipio became a focal point when Padme Amidala traveled to the planet to negotiate loans for the Republic's war effort, but soon discovered the banking clan's questionable loyalties as they secretly funded both sides of the conflict, further elongating the war. The banking clan leader, Rush Clovis, later attempted to consolidate control of the banks, only to be entangled in a plot by Darth Sidious to centralize galactic finances, and thus the independent banking clan fell under the influence of the Senate, and thus later the Empire. Zygerria, located in the Outer Rim, is a hot, arid planet ruled by the Zygerrians, a proud and ruthless species known for their long history of slavery. Zygerria's towering, sand-blasted cities and ornate palaces reflect the wealth and power accumulated through centuries of exploitation. Zygerria's society thrived on the slave trade, capturing sentient beings from across the galaxy and selling them into bondage for labor or profit. The Zygerrian Empire, once powerful and feared, flourished during the time of the Old Republic, before the practice of slavery was outlawed. However, even after the Republic's ban on slavery, the Zygerrians continued their operations in secret, often allying with criminal organizations and the Separatists during the Clone Wars. In the Clone Wars, Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Ahsoka Tano were sent to Zygerria to dismantle the Zygerrian slavers' empire after the Republic learns of their growing influence. The mission reveals the brutal nature of Zygerrian society, where the entire Torgruta population was subjugated to be sold into slavery. The Zygerrian queen, Mirage Sintel, attempts to restore the glory of her people's empire, seeing the chaos of the Clone Wars as an opportunity to expand their influence. However, the intervention of the Jedi thwarts her plans, leading to the eventual fall of Zygerria's slaving operations. Osus, a remote, forested world in the Outer Rim, is one of the most sacred planets in Jedi history. Covered in ancient temples, sprawling libraries, and meditation gardens, Osus was once a thriving hub of learning and spiritual enlightenment, where Jedi Masters taught generations of students in the ways of the Force. The Great Jedi Library, a colossal structure containing countless relics, holocrons, and artifacts, served as a beacon of Jedi wisdom until Osus faced tragedy. The planet's fortune changed during the Sith Wars. It was bombarded by the Sith, leading to the loss of much of its cultural and spiritual heritage. To protect their legacy, Jedi Knights made desperate efforts to preserve their archives, with some relics buried deep in vaults or hidden within the forested mountains. But a lot of it also fell into the hands of the Sith. Osus never fully recovered, its temples and libraries now lying in ruins. During the Imperial era, Luke Skywalker rediscovered Osus and sought to rebuild its legacy, hoping to restore the lost knowledge of the Jedi Order. Fondor, located in the Colonies region, is a vital industrial world known for its massive orbital shipyards. These shipyards are some of the most advanced in the galaxy, producing capital ships, star destroyers, and countless other vessels for both the Galactic Empire and later the First Order. Fondor's economy revolves entirely around its shipbuilding industry, with most of the planet's surface covered in sprawling factories, smelters, and assembly plants that fuel the construction of massive fleets. Despite its industrial might, Fondor's planet-side environment is heavily polluted, with much of the surface consumed by industrial complexes. Life on Fondor is dominated by the shipbuilding industry, with its citizens either working directly in the shipyards or in supporting roles within the sprawling industrial infrastructure. The population is very loyal to the Empire, as a lot of settlers came there during the Imperial era. Kuat, located in the core worlds, is home to the famous Kuat drive yards. These massive orbital shipyards are responsible for producing some of the most iconic warships in the galaxy, including the Venator, Star Destroyers, and Super Star Destroyers for the Galactic Empire. Kuat is one of the most heavily industrialized planets in the galaxy, with its orbital shipyards circling the planet like a massive belt. The planet's economy and society revolve entirely around the production of ships, making Kuat a critical hub of galactic military power. Kuat's wealth and power are controlled by a series of noble houses, each vying for control of the shipyards and the immense profits they generate. Despite the planet's industrial dominance, Kuat's surface remains a relatively pleasant, temperate world, with much of the shipbuilding activity occurring in orbit. Kowak is a wild, jungle-covered planet known for its exotic flora and dangerous fauna, where vast swathes of dense vegetation hide lurking dangers and untamed beauty. The planet's tropical rainforests are filled with towering trees, hanging vines, and enormous blooms of colorful yet often deadly plants. Kowak is best known as the homeworld of the Kowakian monkey lizards, mischievous creatures with high-pitched laughs and a penchant for chaos. These native animals became notorious across the galaxy when one of their kind, Salacious B. Crumb, served as a court jester to Jabba the Hutt. Beyond the monkey lizards, the forests are teeming with predatory creatures and plants with potent toxins, making Kowak a favorite destination for thrill seekers, poachers, and explorers seeking rare species for trade. Nar Shaddaa, known as the Smuggler's Moon, orbits the Hutt homeworld of Nal Hutta and embodies the gritty underbelly of the galaxy. Covered from surface to sky in neon-lit towers, grimy alleys, and bustling spaceports, Nar Shaddaa is a sprawling ecumenopolis that rivals Coruscant, yet with none of the order or sophistication. This moon's atmosphere is thick with pollution and filled with the constant hum of ships, machinery, and countless species from across the galaxy. It's a place where laws mean little, being ruled by crime lords, syndicates, and the Hutts. One of the most notable events from the EU was Galen Marek, or also referred to as Starkiller, going to Nar Shaddaa to find Ram Kota. He tracked down the blind, disillusioned Jedi General Ram Kota at the Undertow Cantina, where they faced off against Imperial forces. Despite Kota's doubts about resisting the Empire, Starkiller convinced him to help provide the necessary contacts to start assembling a rebellion against the Empire. And for the rest of the story, wait for my new series covering the stories and campaigns of the Star Wars games. Let me know down below if you'd like to see something like that. Duro is an ancient and storied planet within the core worlds, known for its vast industrial prowess, rich history, and influential role in galactic trade and technology. Orbiting close to the Corellian trade spine and the Hydean Way, two major hyperspace lanes, Duro became a pivotal world in the Republic's early expansion, transforming it into a hub for advanced starship manufacturing and spacefaring innovation. The Duros people, or how I call them, volleyball heads, are the planet's native species. They were among the galaxy's earliest explorers with a natural affinity for space travel and engineering, leading them to construct some of the earliest hyperdrive-equipped vessels. Due to extensive urbanization and industrial activity, Duro's surface was ravaged by pollution, forcing most of its population to move into sprawling orbital cities. These massive space stations are feats of engineering, housing factories, trade deposits, and residential areas that hover high above Duro's toxic, largely abandoned landscape. The most well-known Duros is certainly Cat Bane, the legendary bounty hunter who was introduced in the Clone Wars TV series. Alsakan, a prominent core world, is celebrated for its heritage, advanced civilization, and a history that rivals even the galactic capital of Coruscant. Positioned along the Perlemian trade route, Alsakan prospered early in galactic history, growing into a major cultural and economic power, and also being a founding member of the Perlemian trade route. Its society was known for its elegant architecture, rich art traditions, and an aristocratic ruling class that saw itself as the rightful leader of the galaxy, a vision that would eventually spark centuries of conflict. For thousands of years, Alsakan and Coruscant engaged in a series of brutal conflicts known as the Alsakan conflicts. These wars were fueled by Alsakan's desire to challenge Coruscant's supremacy and establish its own influence over the Republic. Alsakan saw itself as an enlightened world with a unique political and philosophical identity distinct from Coruscant's bureaucratic republic. Despite its formidable military and wealth, Alsakan was ultimately unable to dislodge Coruscant as the galactic center of power, and the conflicts gradually faded into history, leaving the planet's ruling houses with a complex legacy of both pride and rivalry. It stayed as a core part of the Republic and was subjugated under Imperial rule before being freed once again by the New Republic. Trandosha, a rugged and wild planet in the Mid-Rim, is home to the fierce and warrior-driven Trandoshan species. Covered in dense jungles, rocky mountains, and vast savannas, its ecosystems are teeming with dangerous wildlife, providing ample training grounds for young Trandoshans who embrace the planet's intense culture of hunting and combat. The Trandoshan people follow a unique religion centered around the Scorekeeper, a deity who judges each Trandoshan based on their accomplishments in hunting and battle. Trandoshans earn Jagannath points for each kill or victory, seeking to accumulate high scores to honor their god and elevate their status within their society. As a result, hunting is not only a tradition, but also a way of life that influences every aspect of Trandoshan culture, from personal honor to social hierarchy. Trandosha shares a turbulent relationship with the nearby Wookiee homeworld Kashyyyk. The Trandoshans view the Wookiees as worthy prey, and a long-standing animosity has fueled raids and hunts on Kashyyyk's forested surfaces. Under the Galactic Empire, Trandoshans were often employed as slavers and bounty hunters, capitalizing on their hunting skills to capture Wookiees and other species for Imperial labor camps. Although the planet has minimal trade or diplomatic engagement with the wider galaxy, Trandoshan mercenaries and bounty hunters are commonly encountered throughout the galaxy, making their mark as skilled and formidable fighters. The jungle moon of Dxun, close to Onderon, is known for its constant raids and dangerous predators like bomas, drexels, and zakegs, forcing its inhabitants to remain armed. Its proximity to Onderon allows both moons to share a part of the same atmosphere, leading to periodic migrations of predators to Onderon, sparking the Beast Wars. Throughout history, Dxun served as the battleground and stronghold for numerous factions. After the Beast Wars, Jedi Master Arkajeth relocated the sarcophagus of Sith Lord Freedon Nad to Dxun to prevent its influence on Onderon. Mandalore the Indomitable was later killed by Dxun's beast following the Great Sith War, and Mandalore the Ultimate later established Dxun as a Mandalorian base, using it to launch attacks on the Republic during the Mandalorian Wars. Jedi Revan ultimately defeated the Mandalorians on Dxun in a bloody battle, with the Republic suffering heavy losses. Remnants of this Mandalorian stronghold were later rebuilt by Canderous Ordo, who took on the mantle of Mandalore and trained new Mandalorians on Dxun during the Onderon Civil War, where they allied with the Jedi Exile. Over time, Dxun became a pilgrimage site for Darkside followers. Darth Bane ventured there to acquire Orbalisk armor from Freedon Nad's tomb after the Sith Wars, recognizing Dxun as a powerful Darkside nexus. Between these conflicts, the moon housed abandoned research facilities and became an enduring location of Darkside energy, violence, and survival, reflecting its harsh and violent history. Onderon, a jungle planet in the Inner Rim, is known for its wild cities and dangerous wildlife. During the Clone Wars, its government aligned with the Separatists, represented by Senator Mina Bonteri and later her son Lux. This decision sparked resistance from local rebels led by siblings Stila and Saw Gerrera, whose names sound an awful lot like guerrilla, a war tactic where the guerrilla force set traps, stage ambushes, and use hit-and-run tactics to destabilize the Separatist forces in ways that traditional warfare could not have achieved. But surely that's just a coincidence, wink wink. With support of the Jedi, they fought to liberate Onderon from Separatist control. After Steela's heroic death in battle and a failed separatist response, Onderon was freed and rejoined the Republic, only to fall under Imperial control after the Republic transformed into the Galactic Empire. Zygerria continued his resistance against Imperial rule, forming a rebel faction known as the Partisans. Early in the Imperial era, Clone Force 99, the Bad Batch, was ordered by Admiral Tarkin to eliminate Onderon's separatist insurgents, but refused to harm civilians after meeting with Saw's group. Later, a mission led by Crosshair, who had defected to the Empire, returned to complete the task, killing remaining militia members and civilians. Under increasing Imperial pressure, Gerrera eventually declared Onderon a lost cause and withdrew his forces. Telos 4, located in the Outer Rim's Quaimar sector on Hydian Way Hyperlane, was a crucial military and economic asset for the Galactic Republic. Being home to your favorite KOTOR sidekick, Carthonasi, the planet hosted the Jedi Agricultural Corps. During the Jedi Civil War, Sith forces under Darth Malak devastated Telos' surface through orbital bombardment, following a demand for surrender. To recover, the Republic initiated the Telosian Restoration Project in 3955 BBY, building Citadel Station to revitalize the planet, and it ultimately transformed into a lush, nature-rich world. During the Dark Wars, the Sith forces led by Darth Nihilus attacked Citadel Station, where the exile Mitra Surik was also aboard, culminating in the defeat of the Sith Triumvirate. During the Imperial period, Telos joined a rebellion against the Empire but was suppressed, ending in yet another destructive assault on the planet, making it a scarred world. Ord Mantell, a mid-rim planet and capital of the Bright Jewel system, was colonized around 12,000 BBY by Corellian settlers, becoming an ordnance/regional depot for the Galactic Republic. It developed as a hub of trade, later becoming a hotspot for crime and lawlessness, with a base for the Black Sun crime syndicate by the Clone Wars. Under the Empire, Ord Mantell housed an Imperial deep dock, but largely remained neutral during the Galactic Civil War, though it was closely monitored. Clone Force 99 based operations from Ord Mantell during their missions for Trandoshan informant Sid. Ord Mantell's rulers often turned a blind eye to illegal activity, fostering a thriving gambling industry along the coastal cities of Wolport and Ord Mantell City. The planet was inhabited by a variety of species, including the native Mantellian Savrip, and offered diverse entertainment in casinos like Lady Fate Casino. Despite Imperial oversight, Ord Mantell's open markets and casinos cemented its reputation as a key criminal hub in the galaxy. Rishi Moon, the desolate soul moon of the planet Rishi, lies in the Rishi system, known for its harsh, barren landscape and frequent meteor showers. During the Clone Wars, it became strategically vital as the site of Rishi Station, a Republic outpost tasked with monitoring communications to safeguard Kamino. The Separatist Alliance attempted a covert mission to capture the station and send an all-clear signal to bypass Republic defenses around Kamino. However, this plan was foiled by the greatest clone force ever, Domino Squad, a group of cadets including Fives, Echo, Heavy, Cut Up, and Droidbait. Heavy notably sacrificed himself by blowing up the station, thus interrupting the signal. Adding to its dangers, Rishi Moon was also home to the fierce Rishi Eel, a massive predator known to ambush any trespassers who strayed too close to its territory. That's it for Part 4. Wait for Part 5, where there will be some of the more obscure planets we'll have to cover.